You know, it's funny how some of the biggest ideas are hiding right under our noses, inside really simple, everyday words. Today, we're going to dive into one of those. A single word that literally builds worlds. Compound.
All right, so what in the world do these three things have in common? A water molecule, the word Blackbird, and a savings account. I know, it sounds like the setup to a weird joke. They seem totally different, right? But stick with me because they are all perfect examples of the exact same powerful idea at work.
So, to crack this puzzle, let's start with something we can actually, picture. We're going right into the world of chemistry. This is where we can see compounding happen at the tiniest, most fundamental level.
Okay, so here's the key thing to get. A chemical compound isn't just a bunch of atoms thrown into a bowl. Nope, it's something brand new. It's what you get when different elements lock together, chemically, in a super specific recipe.
Let's make this super simple. Imagine we're cooking. We've got our ingredients. Over here, 2 little atoms of hydrogen. You know that super flammable gas? And over there, 1 atom of oxygen, the stuff we need to breathe. On their own, they're just gases with their own separate jobs.
But then, something happens, a chemical reaction. And this isn't just stirring them together. This is a real energetic connection. Those separate atoms basically forge these powerful links, joining up to become one single thing.
And this is the amazing part. What we get isn't just a mix of 2 gases. We get H2O. We get water, a liquid that can put out the fire that hydrogen gas could have started. It's a completely new substance with totally new properties that just weren't there before. That transformation, that's everything.
So how does that linking actually work? Well, in chemistry, there are basically 2 main ways this goes down. You've got ionic bonds, where one atom straight up gives an electron to another. It's like a transfer that creates this magnetic pull. Then you have covalent bonds, and that's what happens with water, where the atoms share electrons. They're like partners. But either way, the end result is the same, a new, unified compound.
Okay, ready for a jump? We're leaving chemistry behind and heading into language. I know, it seems like a massive leap, but you're about to see the exact same idea at play. We're still just combining simple parts to make something new and way more interesting. Just look at this monster of a German word. It looks crazy, right? But it's actually not that scary when you break it down. It's just a bunch of smaller words. Danube, steamship, transport, company, captain, all stuck together. They're not just a list, they've been fused or compounded into one single super specific idea.
And hey, just like with our atoms, this isn't just random mashing. Languages have rules for this stuff. Think about it. A doghouse is obviously a type of house, but a white-collar worker, that's not a type of collar, is it? The meaning is something completely new. Or bittersweet, which is both things at the same time. See? Each one follows a pattern to create a new meaning that's bigger than the individual words.
Okay, so we've seen this in physical stuff and in words. Now for our last stop, the world of money. And here, the idea of compounding doesn't just create something new. It creates growth, like powerful growth.
You've probably heard of this one, the magic of compound interest. The idea itself is actually super simple, but the effect is huge. It's not just about earning interest on your starting money. The real trick is that the interest you earn gets added back into the main pot. So now you have a bigger pot, and that starts earning its own interest. It's literally interest earning interest. All right, let's use some real numbers so this makes sense. Say you put $1,000 into an account, and it earns a nice, simple 5% interest every year. Easy enough, right?
So, after year 1, you've earned $50. Simple. But here's the compounding move. That $50 doesn't just go in your pocket. It gets combined with your original $1,000. So now you have $1,050. In year 2, you're earning 5% on that new, bigger number. So you earn $52.50. That little extra bit, that's your money's money making money. A new, bigger total gets formed every single year, and the growth just starts to pick up speed.
Okay, so we've looked at atoms, words, and money. Let's tie this all together now. The real secret to seeing how they're all connected is to understand the difference between a real compound and just a simple mixture. This is the whole shebang right here.
Let's go back to chemistry, because it's super obvious there. Water, H2O, is a compound. It's a totally new substance. But if you just dump sand into water, that's a mixture. The sand is still sand, the water is still water, and you can separate them out again, no problem. A compound means the parts fuse and change. A mixture means they're just hanging out together.
Now let's use that exact same idea for language. The compound word Blackbird isn't just any bird that's black. It's a specific type of bird. It's one new idea.
But the phrase, a blackbird, well, that's just a mixture. It's a description. It could be a crow, a raven, whatever. The words are separate. See the difference? One's a compound, the other's a mixture.
And that brings us right back to our money example. Compound interest is where the interest bonds with the principal, creating a new, bigger whole every single time. But simple interest, that's just a mixture. The interest you earn is always kept separate. It's just a side payment. The two parts never really combine, so you never get that awesome accelerating growth.
So what's the big takeaway here? A molecule of water, the word Blackbird, a growing savings account? These aren't just three random things I pulled out of a hat. They're all showing us the same deep, universal idea in action.
So here it is, the core principle of compounding. First, you get creation. Simple little things combine to make something new. Second, you get synergy. That new thing is way more than just the sum of its parts. And third, you get growth. That new thing often becomes the building block for even bigger, more complex things down the line. It's a pattern that builds on itself.
And this is why this idea is so cool, because it's not just about our examples. Think about your own life. Does reading one book make you a genius? Of course not. But the knowledge you gain from book after book, it compounds. Does doing one push-up make you fit? Nope. But the habit of exercising every day? That compounds. It's a powerful way to think about how tiny, consistent actions can combine over time to create massive, amazing results. So the real question is, what are you going to start compounding?